The following presentation of the Montyman's Meditorials is brought to you by Kurt and Debbie Palmer, Roger McDermott and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting. To subscribe to this as well as any of our recovery shows, visit our website at take12radio.com. And now, here's the Montyman with this week's Meditorial.
Well, greetings, my friends, and welcome to another Montyman's Meditorial. I'm your host, the Montyman. This Meditorial I've entitled Black and White or Shades of Gray. Well, the way we think can affect our mood and our behavior. Now, this may seem like an obvious statement, but it's often hard to notice where it affects us. I wonder, has black and white thinking affected my perspective and caused me to see things as only good or only bad with no in between? And what about thinking in the gray? Does this mean I don't take a definite stand on issues that are important? Well, it's been said that gray thinking is a way of looking at things that allows you to withhold judgment until you have all the facts. It's about not forming an opinion about an important matter until you have heard all of the relevant facts and arguments. Well, for me, black and white thinking has contributed to my overly opinionated self. But to be honest, I rather enjoy that part of me. But I'm not so sure others feel the same way. So let's look at the pros and cons of both of these thought processes. If my thinking is black and white, I am solid in my convictions, sure of my choices, and fixed on the prize. There is little room for compromise, and I don't allow justification to seep in and influence what I know is right and what I know is wrong. It's an absolute essential way to think if I am going to live in a world that is constantly tempting me to give into immorality and debauchery. On the other hand, thinking in the gray allows me to see others through the eyes of compassion, patience, and long-suffering. When I think in this mode, I can allow you to be you and still hold on to my authentic self. Your lifestyle choices, potential viewpoints, and the way in which you conduct yourself is seen through eyes of love rather than eyes of condemnation. So, there seems to be good in both manners of thinking. But are there pollutants in both? Well, woven within the fiber of gray thinking is the temptation to personally compromise one's values and convictions. If not cautious, we can find ourselves in a camp that is not only dangerous, but unhealthy to others as well. We may find ourselves being codependent and actually partaking in the destructive partnership with people that we once believed were walking down a negative path. On the other hand, the soul that lives exclusively in the black and white shuts himself off from the possibility of new and wonderful opportunities to grow and mature. When we take such a stand, we cheat ourselves and miss the variety that is inherent in life itself. So, what are we to do about choosing when to think in the black and white and when to think in the gray? Well, this is where I must not trust on my own thought processes, but that of God's. I truly believe that there is a time for black and white thinking and a time for gray. But because we tend to be directed by our own egos, we should lean heavily on the following passage of Scripture. It's found in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 6, and it states, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths." Sounds simple? Well, most good ideas are. No wonder one of the favorite slogans with those in the recovery community is, "Keep it simple." I guess it all comes down to this. When it comes to our thinking, when to think in black and white and when to think in gray, we need to trust God and love people. It's something to think about. Until our next broadcast, this is the Montyman, and I am wishing God's perfect serenity for you.
This has been a broadcast of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting and the Take 12 Recovery radio shows.